Today is day 131 of the Arukh HaShulchan OC. Today's Arukh HaShulchan OC is Siman Tzadik Sif Lamed, 2 Siman Tzadik Av Sif Vav. If you would like to sponsor an upcoming shir or more of the Arukh HaShulchan OC, it will be very, very much appreciated. Please contact me directly. So, we're talking about davening behind one's Rebbe and how that's not appropriate. In Sif Lamed, it says, Chozim B'Rabba Muvak, that's only talking about with your Rebbe from who you learn most of your wisdom, or Gadol Ador, or a great giant of the generation. Rabba Muvak, whose status is the same as your primary Rebbe, Kamash Kasir Desiman Reish Man Base. Abu Rabba Shein Muvak, if you're not your primary Rebbe, O Talmud Chaver, or you're already grown in stature to the point that you are a Talmud but also a Chaver at the same time. With this Bible, but here you can have him next to him, in front of Achrab, behind him or in front of him. Yeshua say in front of, some say not down in front of him. And that is correct, says Arukh HaShulchan, because that's too much of a sign. Some people say it's only talking about where you're davening as individuals, you and your Rebbe. But if it's the Tibor, you said that's where they're sitting in the base matters. Ain't lo chushim mispal in front of achrov. Doesn't matter, it's not behind or in front of him. Papi shetov lachmir, even though it's best to be machmir, aminag lahakel, make us be lenient, ad kan l'shono. V'nochol lahachmir l'maiseh. It's appropriate to be machmir halach l'maiseh. And so says Arukh HaShulchan, he cites Levushn El Yerabba, Ba'al bima mutter. And evidently, if you're on two separate levels, or in other words, you not two separate levels. You and your Rebbe are on a separate level on the bima. So then it's mutter because I guess people don't pay as much attention what goes on the bima. The Mishnah Berurah writes in the name of Chai Adam that this is all true also not just about your Rebbe Mubak, but also about your father. Lamrav, lo komakom shein kohen bo kriya shema im mispalim. But any place you're not allowed to say shema because it's revolting. Now davening, kshen shemachim mitzvah meraglayim mereach ra, just like this yourself from excrement and urine and bad smells, mina mace, and from a dead corpse, miyasa erva, and from seeing nakedness, l'kriya shema, came machin feel the same to the laws apply to fila. V'chein chol davar kedusha avali mutar, and this is so true about any matter of holiness and learning Torah. Tzarich l'archik, you have to distance yourself. You'll make big feel b'ishtin tinok beis hakneses. If you're in the middle of davening and a child urinated in the shul, you should be silent until they bring water to dilute the urine. Because Shabbos with the Mayim, even on Shabbos to pour water. Or should go 4 amos in front of you, in front of the urine, or to the sides. Or you can yourself, or leave the shul down and complete your tefillah. You also told, let's say it's best to go to another place, to leave the shul, go someplace over remaining silent until they clean up the mess. Because maybe you're going to wait as long as it takes to finish the entire Shmoneh Esrei, then you have to go back to the beginning. But you should not talk in any event. We can't leave somewhere else. We got to make mine, so it's no water to dilute the urine. You also smoke the Rash, because the Rash, but the matter is Baba Meraglaim, Shomei Kvar B'Tfilah, who allows you to daven in terms of when there's urine, if you already started davening. You should the Meraglaim have the Rabbanon, because urine is only the Rabbanon. Abba B'Tzah, the Yisur the Raisa. But excellent, which is the rice and bechreich, pretty much is by God, one of the things which he suggested. Some people say that there's excrement there, you're allowed to even say, remove the excrement. But no Nireli, as Arukh HaShulchan do not agree. Go out to somewhere else. And hint to the entire tzibur that they should leave. Or they should remove the excrement and wait until the odor dissipates. As Bardina Melech Krishman, this is all explained in Krishma already above in Simonim Ayin Vav to Peiches. Mishnah Berurah writes a couple of things on this sif. First of all, he says that this whole time you don't have something to cover the urine or excrement. You have something to cover, whether it's excrement or urine. It is also to be mafsik. You can't interrupt, even to move from your place, as long as the bad smell does not reach you, and you just should make sure that it's covered up. Mishnah Berurah also writes, because Krishma, if you wait long enough to finish them, And also all the brachos. If you waited, you don't have to go back to the beginning. Only evidently in Shmoneh Esrei. And then finally, in Mishnah Berurah here, one more. If a child of a young child is discussing the excrement, if it's not possible to notify people about this problem in the shul in their midst, that any other way without talking, you're allowed to talk in order to say to them, it's the rice of davening the presence of the excrement. And better that he should do the Isser Kal. It's the Rabbanan to interrupt his tefillah, then the other should do the Isser Chomor, the Raisa, to daven in a place where there is something revolting and disgusting. Siman Tzadik Aleph. Lezer Musna B'Shas HaTefillah, to gird your loins at the time of davening. Rambam שבתוך שמונה דברים שצריך להיזהר בשעת התפילה. Among the 8 things, just be careful with time tefillah. יש תיקון הלבושים, it is ordering one's clothing. עין שם. כלומר, מי דיינו לדבר בדברים שגם קריאה שמע. So not the things שאם by קריאה שמע are forbidden, כמו ליברוס or whatever, such as when your heart sees the genitals. because קריאה שמע is only if you're naked. אלא אפילו דבר שבקריאה שמע מותר, אם מסוים בשמע, the shema is מותר, מכל מקום nevertheless בתפילה, Osir, by tefillah remains osir. They should be tefillah because by davening Shmoneh Esrei, you're standing in front of the king. So Shem Melubash Karoi, you have to be extra special, properly washed, dressed. And with times the Shabbos says, Rabbi Arvuna Rami Puzmikei Matzli. He used to put on socks in order to daven. Perish Rashi, Nosa Plus Chashuchim Baraglav, dark socks. Shushanemari Kol Nikras Lokach Yisrael, because it says prepared for your God, O Israel. Beis O Musham Amra Avashi Chazisa Rav Kana. I said Rav Kana Kikutzara Ba'ama. There was travail in the world. Shadig Lime. He tossed off his fancy garment. He tossed off his pelts, his fur, or whatever it was from bottom. They shouldn't look like he's. I'm chashuv. Because Shama Ba'ama. When there's peace in the world, Lavishim Miskasim Misate, then he would wear all of his clothing, including the luxurious furs, etc. Amar, he said, he called me Kras Elokecha Yisrael. That a person should properly prepare to greet their God. V'shas atzar yishlicha darto v'chovek yoda betzba'osov. He would take off his fancy fur and or whatever it was, the outer garment, and he would grasp his hands with his fingers, like a person's anguish because of his fear of his Rebbe. There are those who therefore are meticulous now. When there's anguish in the world, not to dive in Mincha Marv on a weekday with an outer garment. Shabbos Yontif is probably Beged Elyon, and Shabbos Yontif they do wear an outer garment. Then let's get started. But Shabbos Yontif not supposed to be allude to anguish and pain on Shabbos Yontif. Shabbos Gam B'cholo Beish Beged Elyon, Ol Shlo Beish HaTalis, and the Shliach Tzibur on a weekday he wears the outer garment or he wears the talis. This is the widespread minhag in our countries. Also, when it gets aliyah, one should wear an additional garment. They cover that teireh because of the honor of the Torah. And so too by Hagbah. So we have various different times that a person is supposed to specifically wear an outer garment, presumably are they an HB jacket. Another time when it would seem not to wear an outer jacket because it's more of a supplication in times of travail. Even if you had a talis belted on your hips to cover her below the hips, so your heart should not see the nakedness. By Shema, this will be permitted. Even though above his hips he's naked. Like we saw previously. Nevertheless, but tefillah you gotta cover everything up from the front and from behind. But it's true with b'di'ev and loki sasli, that if you didn't cover your heart, nanas, or you're compelled. He doesn't have with what to cover. But as long as your genitals are covered and you daven yotzei. The Rambam writes about these things that they're not impediments to Yevet. Even if his heart does see the erba, we already mentioned Simon Ayin Dal, you don't have to go back and down again. Because since Rosh Erba is the Rabbanon, it doesn't make it go back again. But that's only if Libo Rosh Erba. If your genitals were revealed, you have to go back and down again. The Zel Daraisa, this is the equivalent of excrement, it's Daraisa, no good. Chayodam and the Mishnah Berurah, time 23, say that if your heart sees the erba, you have to go back and daven. Again, Veloni Reli does not agree. They write, Shekasvu, Hoel Bekisa Ervaso Yatsu. Once you cover your erba, that suffices. Akil Shur, Masha de Kisa Erba, Bilban Makeh. And the bottom line, rock bottom impediment is that your heart should not see the erba. But other than that, although it's preferable to dive and dress appropriately, but you have your yoitze, at least b'shas l'chak. Dal, it's a mitzvah to put on a belt, which is called a gartel. But it's a tefillah. The time diving, afilu yeshlo michnasayim bavneit. Even if you have pants which have their own belt, vainly bos or erva, your heart does not see the erva. The genitals may come supposed to put on the extra belt because they're preparing before it's time for a Kodesh Baruch Hu. We shall call a yom below chagura. But somebody goes the entire day without a belt, doesn't usually davening either. Some people put on a belt during davening, even though the rest of the day they don't wear a belt. So rock between Shmona Esrei. That's only in any event by Shmona Esrei. You don't need any such belt. Since he has pants on, his heart cannot see the erba. If he doesn't have pants, if his garments are resting on his stomach in a way, they interrupt between his heart and the erba. That's good enough. Because I'm assuming Ayin Dal. That you should know. If somebody doesn't have some with what to cover his heart, he's not supposed to daven at all. Altogether. Anita Mabazin, so I'm astounded at this. And the club that they called it b'diavad mutar, and we have a general principle, anything which is b'diavad, okay? In ein lo adavar, if he doesn't have what he needs, in this case clothing, have a k'diavad, it's a diavad situation. Kamadin, Manu Poskin came, we have this talk in several cases. So why should it be different any different over here? Nearly Bolo Kamosh Kosafti, that b'diavad, and it's l'chatchila, and a b'diavad situation. Came down in service. Okay, Mr. Berurah, number 24. Because of Lo Yispalo, he said he should not daven, not proper clothing, but linear, commercial Savnu. Arukh HaShulchan says we believe otherwise. The Mr. Berurah writes in the Midas Chasidus is to wear a belt for davening, even if the entire day you don't go to the belt. So he's more machar than Arukh HaShulchan. Hey, Kosaram Perk, hey, Din, hey. Tikkun Malbushim case at how does it mean to fix your clothing properly to stand before a Kodesh Baruch Hu? Sakim Malbushim Tchilim Mitzayim. That's what Mahader. You fix your clothing initially and you make yourself outstanding and resplendent. Shemar says Yishtachol Hashem Bahadras Kodesh. Bow down to a Kodesh Baruch Hu with the splendor of holiness. V'lo Yamo B'Tfilah Bafundoso. You should not stand during davening with your money belt. Nor with an uncovered head. Nor with uncovered legs. In if that's the derech of people in that place, this only to stand for a great people with pants, not shorts. So then you can't wear shorts. Places where people stand without pants, they do stand just the shorts. Mutal Ram, according to Ramon, that would be okay. Some people forbid this even in such circumstances. It's not appropriate to reveal your legs in front of your master, and this becomes then objective even in Eretz Yisrael. Some other hot places you can't wear shorts while davening. So there's no machlokes here. Somebody who's barefoot is certainly also even according to the Rambam. It's talking about a case where you leave the socks on your legs. In other words, you can daven without shoes. Barefoot is also according to the Rambam. As long as you have socks on, that's good enough. The Mishnah Berurah writes that in very hot countries where people stand in front of great people barefoot, there's no issue. Okay. Whether socks or long pants, as in meaning a makom, certainly gili rosh being uncovered head does not. In places where people stand in front of great people with an uncovered head, also b'shas that feel it's forbidden during davening. Even though it's also goes uncovered head the entire day, like we learned a long time ago. That is a midas chasidus, but during davening, kana midina, it is according to the letter of the law. A yarmulke is insufficient. Well, that was in the good old days pre-JFK, when people used to wear hats when they went in the street. No more. So this halacha will no longer apply in this manner. Kafto ain't lispalabo. A short garment is called a kafto. It's like it seems like a short jacket of some sort, as opposed to a kaftan, I guess, which is a longer jacket. People don't wear it outside to the street. I guess a kaftan is like a short robe. For an uncovered head, it doesn't work even to cover your head with your hands. Unless you pull up your sleeve on Oshabigdo Aliyat Umchasabo. The same oil. That works. Because mid b'mino and a your hand on your head is just as if your head is open. But the shirt, obviously, the jacket, is not like that. It's not mid b'mino, though therefore works. Not just your hand. Your hand doesn't work, but somebody else's hand is not considered to be part of your body. Straw hats are considered to be coverings, even though some of them are transparent. Also, it's here as people are not allowed to mention God's name with an uncovered head. Says the clothing, the general principle is you have to wear clothing which you would wear out in the street. In a bathrobe, house robe, you can't wear it outside in the street. And this Bible should not daven in it. Distinguishes between Bate Shokam Shotsemla Shopishtar. It's later any other difference between we know the difference between linen and woolen socks. Ube Volkis Bimea Choref. Volkis, I believe, is galoshes, rubbers. Nearly Diochlis Palel. You can daven with them during the winter. Diochochim Bohem Oz Bercho, because that you wear them then even out onto the street. The Shmuel writes it always do the minhag hamakam. If the place is to stand before people with galoshes on, before chashuv people with galoshes, it's mutter, and if not, it is asur.